Taco Potato Mustang. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a short review on my current rental vehicle, the giant tank mobile Nissan Armada. Look at this thing. It's huge. It's gigantic. It's it's just massive. Can't even fit in the phone camera screen. Styling is okay. It looks like any other giant SUV. I think they tried to make it look a little more aggressive with the pronounced front bumper and rear bumper, which looks a little bit like it's got a badunkadunk. It's got a little spoiler thing on the spoiler. I don't know what the hell this thing. The wheels are huge. Everything's huge. It looks okay. I mean, it's not ugly, but it's not the most attractive vehicle. Kind of looks funny from this straight head on from the back, but yeah, it's an SUV. The wheels, as I noted in my previous video, are pretty big. I think they're 20-inch wheels in the front, at least 275 tires. In the back, also 275s, 20s. Yeah. So, it's got a lot of chrome. I don't know. I assume that's like some type of premium trim of some sort, or I don't know if that comes standard. Sometimes it looks cheesy, but it looks okay. It's got a V8. The guy at the rental place was like, he pointed out that this had a similar engine to my Mustang, and I was like, yeah, totally, V8. So check this out. I'm 6'5", and my head is only like a few inches above the roof rack, so it's pretty tall. It's got some steps to get into the tall vehicle, and I will say one thing. I just realized this. I guess maybe I kind of noticed it when I picked the car up. It smells like freaking cigarettes in here, which cigarettes are disgusting. Whatever, people smoke. But what annoys me is that they were like, you're not allowed to have any pets in the vehicle. And I'm like, people can freaking smoke in this car and make it smell like an ashtray, but my dog can't be in here? Come on. Anyways, they got this, I don't know if this is like wood plastic paneling or whatever. Looks okay. It matches okay with the rest of the interior. Like, I don't think they overdid it. You can see it in the center console too. Seats are pretty comfortable. I didn't really mess around with the controls too much. Looks like there's lumbar support, pretty big. Storage, well, actually it's kind of small. It looks bigger from up top, but I guess you can do this too. Maybe not. I was gonna say maybe you can pull up the top part, but I guess not. Here's probably where you can put out your cigarettes and cigars and whatever. It's got some drive modes, a little bit of chrome on the interior. It smells awful. There is a sunroof, or moonroof, whatever the hell you call them. The instrument gauge is pretty cool. I actually like the styling on that. I'll talk about this more in a minute, but the infotainment system is just crap. My friend Josh pointed out that his Infinity from like, it was like probably 10 years ago or more, had the same infotainment system, and it's like, come on. I mean, I couldn't even get my Bluetooth to connect. I was coming back from the rental place, and I had my work phone like sitting on my lap on speakerphone so I could dial into a work call, and I couldn't get the Bluetooth to connect. I couldn't get it to connect with the micro USB cord. I just realized they have no smoking stickers. Obviously somebody did not follow the rules. So in terms of space, it's got pretty good space. I think I would say for being such a big vehicle, it's kind of ridiculous that the seat doesn't go any further back. Like I have it, I mean, it's not bad leg room, but it probably has the same leg room as our Forester. And considering this vehicle is like twice the size, that's kind of ridiculous. Seats are pretty comfortable. Looks like there's a lot of space in the back in the second row. Headroom is pretty good. I have the seat up all the way. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice. Like, it's a luxurious vehicle. It's comfortable. And if you need enough space for like 7 or 8 people, this will probably do. Although I imagine it's not very fuel efficient. This thing has got to weigh a gazillion pounds. But it's, I mean, it's decently put together. It's, I don't know what year it is. I guess I could check the main. Jesus, look at this. This glove box is about to like fall out. 2020 Nissan Armada owner's manual and maintenance information. Jeez, that's bad. I mean, it's a rental car, but yeah, I mean, I absolutely wouldn't buy this. But I do wonder, it'd be interesting to see what Nissan does with this. And I don't know if they've redone the Pathfinder, but based on how they've recently redesigned the Rogue, it would be cool to see if they really step up their game with some of their bigger SUVs and I guess their truck, the Titan and the Frontier. But yeah, I mean, it's comfortable. It's okay. I did notice that it has the memory seat function, which is good. I am a huge fan of that. And nice clunk when you close the door, so it seems like it's pretty good quality. You got your mirror controls, door locks and windows all on the door, as opposed to having anything in the middle. I guess you can put it in some sort of manual mode, or it's just there to look cool, the plus and minus. And then there's tow mode. I would hope you can tow a reasonable amount of weight with a vehicle this big. You can take the traction control off if you want to get crazy. And it has a CD player. That's keeping it old school, or sort of old school. And it's got heated seats. I have to say, when I got in the car, the heated seats were on, and it was pretty hot. I had to turn them off after a few minutes. But yeah, so it seems like a lot of the stuff works fine. It's just not like, I don't know. I probably need a better way to explain why I'm not super impressed with the vehicle. I guess maybe it's just that it's so huge, and it seems very inefficient. But that's fine. I get it. You know, people want to feel safe in giant SUVs and trucks, and they want to, you know, sometimes they need to like haul stuff around or haul lots of people around. So yeah, let's check the leg room on the passenger side, since we did that test with like all the small SUVs that we drove. What? Well, at least you can put your feet up a little bit further. It's pretty unimpressive for such a big vehicle. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of space to my sides and above me, but like if you're in this for a long trip, I feel like you'd want a little bit more, tall people would want a little bit more leg room. I don't understand how that gets like missed by so many auto manufacturers. Nissan, if you had more leg room in the Rogue, we might have bought one. Get it together. Or get in the back seat. It'd be nice if I had a camera person to help me out here. Let's see. I have the seat in the front. The front seat is all the way back, and it's even leaning back, and I have pretty good leg room, and my head is close, but I'm not touching, so that's pretty good. Looks like it's kind of getting dark. I'll have to do the rest of this in the morning before I take this vehicle back. But the back seats are actually pretty impressive. I'd say these are pretty comfortable. I don't know about the third row, but I can check that out in the morning maybe. But this is, I suppose the space and the comfort of the back makes it a little bit more appealing. So yeah, and it does actually look, I have to say, from this angle, the vehicle looks pretty luxurious. I think it's part of it is also the lights kind of shining on the chrome and the woodish, whatever you want to call the wood trim. But it kind of feels a little bit fancier when I'm looking at the front from the back, if that makes sense. My opinion is slowly changing, maybe. I also have what looks to be the remnants of a balloon that was tied to the top of this. Maybe that's why it smells like a cigarette. Maybe it was used for a bachelor or bachelorette party or a wedding or something. Hard to say. I'm about to drive the Armada back to the rental car place to pick up the dude's thing. I wonder if I should try to get in the third row seat before I do that. Let's see. Whoa, that's actually pretty awesome. I'm sure that there's other vehicles that do that, but you just have to, let's see. You just have to grab this tab and it pulls these two seats forward. Seems pretty seamless. Not bad. Let's see. I think if I put the seat back, I will have not a lot of leg room. Obviously, this is better for kids or people who are on the shorter side. One thing that's kind of nice is double cup holder, just in case your kids need all the beverages. And then the trunk space, I guess, for
having a third row. It's not bad. You can probably fit a decent amount of stuff back here. Pretty spacious, except for the headroom. You got your vents back here too. I guess you can get plenty of air. And you got your oh crap handles here and here, so you can have up to 6 people saying oh crap at the same time. All right, I gotta get out of here. I drove the Armada last night to pick up some Chinese food, and I had to say, unless it's like an impossible to find button, the lack of a heated steering wheel on this vehicle is pretty ridiculous. It's I think I saw that the MSRP, like starting MSRP, is like $47,000, and there's no heated steering wheel. Like, come on. I mean, there might be, but it's not on the the button is not on the steering wheel itself, so that's kind of lame. Driving the Armada, I have to say that this thing, obviously it's a huge vehicle, but sometimes you can drive a bigger vehicle and it doesn't feel that big. So like when we test drove the Kia Sorento, obviously that's also a pretty big vehicle. I don't think it's as big as the Armada, but it's close, and it felt like a smaller vehicle. I don't know if it was the steering or they just have the suspension a little bit more sorted out, or maybe it's less heavy materials, but the Armada definitely feels like I've driven some pretty big vehicles. I drove 5-ton trucks and Humvees in the Marines, and this feels like it just feels like a big vehicle, which I get some people like that, but it like it's nice to be up high, seated up high, but it's like the steering wheel feels massive, so I think that also contributes to the feeling of driving like a giant truck type vehicle, as opposed to just driving an SUV that happens to be big. But I had to say, when I was driving last night, the torque is pretty impressive. So I guess I can kind of laugh at the comment the guy made at Enterprise about this one having a V8 like my Mustang. I mean, so at least it's got that going for it. But it is it's just a freaking huge vehicle that feels like a huge vehicle. And you know, if that's what you like, I guess the Armada would be something you'd consider, along with a number of massive pickup trucks. So I would say it gets up to the torque and I don't know how much horsepower it has, but it gets up to speed pretty quick. And it's also one of those vehicles that I've noticed this when I've been driving newer vehicles more recently, is that when you're driving at say right now I'm driving like between 55 and 60 miles an hour, but it doesn't feel like I'm driving that fast, which I think can sometimes be, you got to be a little bit careful, especially in a heavier vehicle, because you can carry a lot of weight into, if you crashed into something. And also I think you run the risk of getting pulled over more easily. When I'm driving the Mustang, even though it's I guess I can't even really call it a fairly newer car anymore, since it's almost 7 years old. When I'm driving the Mustang, I know like, you know, when you're driving certain speeds, like if I'm driving, you know, over 80 miles an hour in the Mustang, it's very noticeable. If I feel like if I was driving 80 miles an hour in this, it would feel like I'm driving 60 miles an hour. And I'm driving 60 miles an hour and it feels like I'm going like 40 miles an hour. I guess that's like, you know, that's probably a good thing in terms of the ride quality of the suspension, but I think it's also one of those things you just got to be careful, because you don't want to get pulled over for speeding. You don't want to get into an accident, especially at higher speeds in a vehicle this heavy. But it's I guess it's probably a compliment to whoever does the suspension engineering and picks the tires and all that for Nissan. But, you know, again, safety first. You gotta be cautious when you're driving something that weighs this much and is this tall. And I tried out the stereo last night. I finally got my my phone to work. You actually have to do a setting. You have to press the media button and then press iPod, which that's another indicator that the infotainment system is old. And then it'll say, like, for my phone, it said there's no music like on the media thing attached. But then if I just press play on Spotify, after a couple seconds the music will play. So I mean, at least it works. It's just not smooth, it's not seamless, it's not an easy operation like with a vehicle that has Apple CarPlay, or I guess I've never really used Android Auto, but I assume it's very similar to Apple CarPlay. And that's kind of bad. I think if you're gonna pay $47,000 or more for a vehicle, you should have, you know, those types of options, or at least a newer infotainment system. So yeah. So I guess the question is, should you buy a Nissan Armada? And the answer, honestly, I don't know. If you're in the market for a vehicle that has 3 rows and you need the torque and power of a V8, I suppose this would probably be worth putting on your list. Also depends on what your budget is. I think this would probably be something that, and again, I should also say I have not driven a lot of vehicles in this class, so, you know, take my commentary with a grain of salt. But if you're like type person who has a truck, and then you need, like, you like trucks, and then you need something that is more family, like you can fit more people in it, more family friendly, like, you know, if you have more kids or something, or more dogs, and you got to switch from your truck to something else, this seems like it would be a good vehicle to go to from a truck, because it still has like a very truck-like feel, and you get the power and the torque, and you still get a lot of space. I personally would prefer to have things like the heated steering wheel, Apple CarPlay. I don't know if you can get those in this vehicle, and if you can, how much more it costs. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad overall. I'd say I'm a little bit more convinced after driving a little bit more and exploring a little bit more, but it's pretty big, and I don't need a vehicle this big, so it wouldn't be on my list unless all of a sudden I had, like, you know, like if my wife had like triplets or something out of nowhere, and I don't know, yeah. But you know, it's I guess it's probably worth looking at, and it's definitely got some upside. It's comfortable. It's got power and torque, and it's got space. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching my first vehicle review on Taco Potato Mustang. I hope you found it entertaining and informative, and keep an eye on the channel for more updates on the Fox and the Dude Stang, etc., etc. Stay healthy, stay safe. Peace out.